Hey, what's going on? It's Matt and my gorgeous wife, Gloria. We're here doing another episode of Marathon Marriage here on our channel, and I hope you will like and maybe even share this video. We hope it provides some awesome insight, because today we are going to be talking about...
We're going to be talking about transparency and the importance of being open and honest with your spouse.
For sure. So the reason we believe that's important, or really honesty, I think really starts with transparency and with just being open each and every day. Because if you just let maybe a little nugget of information just pass by with you having that inkling that you should share it with your spouse, that just all of a sudden with each little nugget, all of a sudden you're gonna have this big treasure trove of information and thoughts and just ideas or what actions or whatever they may be. All of a sudden it's a treasure trove of information that your spouse will find so valuable into understanding you, struggles, things you're going with maybe at work, with kids, or even with your spouse, me with her. Insecurities
that you may have.
Yeah. And so, I mean, for us in our marriage, we haven't always had transparency. We haven't always been on the up and up. I mean, early on in our marriage, I was struggling with some issues with, pornography, and it was super tough for me to even share that because I knew she had crazy issues with her identity and self-worth.
Self-image, So I had really bad issues with my self-image, and so he didn't feel like that was something that he could share with me, because he felt like, that would really hurt me, and which at the time it would have, because I was in a really bad place with my self-identity and self-worth. But it still was no excuse for him to keep that from me for those several years.
Yeah, and so I mean, me having not shared that with her, and me feeling worried about what she's going to say, what she's going to think of me, really I needed to know that Christ wants us to be open, honest, and transparent. We are one. We are one flesh. In Christ, we are one flesh, through God, and created this union, put us together. And in order for me to continue to build upon a solid foundation, it can't be built on uncertainties or half-truths or these, lies or hiddenness. The foundation needs to be solid, and that's why we need to communicate all things, whether it be the smallest, inkling of maybe my wife feeling attracted to another guy at work, and sharing that with me, and me feeling secure enough in myself, because I know my self-worth, my true value doesn't come from her ultimately. It comes from Christ, my maker.
And I actually, so we know a lot of women, I personally know a lot of women who say, I do not want to know when my man is attracted to another woman. I couldn't handle that. I'd rather him just go talk to his guy friends. And I believe every man, every woman should have accountability partners, definitely, no doubt. But your spouse should be able to come to you to say, hey, I was attracted to somebody else, so that you could squash that very quickly. And the issue is, though, we live in a society where, especially as women, we just don't feel confident. Like if our husband was to come, we would instantly think, oh my gosh, and the jealousy rises, all of that. Well, we know jealousy is a sin, right? Jealousy is not something that you should even have in your vocabulary, in your thought process, because truly, when you have a really strong marriage, jealousy shouldn't be there. It is a openness. You're on one team, and your spouse, when they come to you to say, hey, I want you to know that I found somebody attractive today, and when it comes out and they're letting you know that, it should be an instant like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm glad he's telling me, because it squishes it. And for me, that's how it is. Matt, when he finds somebody attractive, or I do, I let him know it, because then it just turns into, oh, yeah, okay, so that's what happened. We're not blind. There's good-looking people out there watching this. We're good-looking people, and he is really good-looking people person. So anyway, that's the kind of openness that we're talking about. Transparency. It's not easy. It's really, really a tough thing to get to that point. But really it kind of starts with you and knowing who you are, that you'd be able to handle that type of honesty, because honestly, that's the kind of honesty you're likely looking for in return. So it's important to have that within a marriage, so that nothing negative, nothing will plant a seed and start to germinate, because that's how lies and deceit starts. It just starts with one tiny little thing of, you know what, now's not a good time, I'm not going to share it, and it starts to eat away at you. But then you start to become complacent in that, and it can start to really breed more dishonesty in your marriage. So be honest with each other, guys. It's not easy, and we're saying it from really tough experiences.
Seriously.
But you know what? It makes the biggest difference when you finally have an opportunity to have a really open marriage where you can share not just attractiveness in the opposite sex, but even tougher things.
Yeah, for sure. And just remember, guys, I mean, all these insecurities that stem from that lie, it's just understanding and knowing that God, your maker, our creator, you were fearfully and wonderfully made. So there is nothing to be ashamed of in who you are, and the experiences you have, they are valid. And sharing that with your spouse, it shares the vulnerability and the trueness that you have.
Yeah.
So again, keep things honest, keep things on the up and up, and you will slowly see your marriage improve, right? For sure. So again, share this if you can. If you found value in this, like this page, and comment below if you have any other things that you think we should comment on or we should talk about.
Yeah.
Guys, we don't have all the answers, but we get all our answers from the Word. This is biblically based stuff, and feel free to comment on what you think your perspective is on what we spoke about this time. So again, stay blessed, and remember, you have miles of love to live.
Be true to your spouse.
Yes. See y'all soon.